Good afternoon, parents and kids. Study link tonight is 8.1, talking about solving real-world rate problems, and just wanted to give you a little help to get through this in case kids had questions at home. So here it is. If you look at, we told them they could skip number 1. They don't need to bring in any nutrition labels. Number 2 says express each rate as a per unit rate. If there are 143 players on 11 teams, and we want to find out how many players per team is that, we just do 143 divided by 11, which kids can use calculators for at this point, or they can work it out. Either way, when they do that division, they should get 13 players per team. B says $260 for 40 hours. Again, just take 260 and divide by 40. 260 divided by 40 is 6.5 or $6.50 per hour. And number 3, we're talking about typing 150 words in 2 minutes, and we're filling in the rate table. So if we look over here at the table, they give us that the 2, it goes with the 150, and from there we can kind of figure out, okay, so half of 2 is 1, so half of 150 would be 75. If I take 2 and double it, I get 4. So if I take 150 and double it, I get 300. And then I can kind of piece these pieces of information together to get this one. If I want to get to 5, I could do that by adding the 1 and the 4 together. So if I add the 75 and the 300 together, that should give me the words that I could do in 5 minutes. So at that rate, how many words can Kendis type in 5 minutes? That would be 375 words. To write that as a proportion, again, we always start with the one that they give us. They gave us 150 words in 2 minutes, so we put 150 in 2 minutes here. And then our answer was they could do 375 words in 5 minutes. And so our proportion is 150 over 2 is equal to 375 over 5. And how many minutes would it take Kendis to type 1,050 words? Again, if we start with 150 in 2 minutes, or we could think of this as 75 words in 1 minute, and we're trying to figure out, okay, what would it take to get from there to 1050? And this just takes a little kind of experimenting around. You could take 1 and multiply it by 14 to get to, or it takes 75 and multiply it by 14 to get to 1050, or you could take 2 and multiply it by 7 to get there. So either way, I should know that I figure out that it's going to be 14 minutes to get 1050 words. For the try this problems, they're a little bit more challenging, but again, we can work our way through this. How long would it take to lay 8 rows of 18 bricks each at a rate of 4 bricks per minute? First of all, we have to think about, okay, how many bricks are we talking about? 8 times 18 is 144 bricks. So if we're laying 144 bricks at 4 bricks per minute, I'm taking 144 divided by 4, and that's going to give me 36. So it's going to take me 36 minutes. But it asks us to express that answer in hours. So I just have to figure out what fraction or what decimal of an hour is 36 minutes. So if I talk about 36 of 60 is equal to how much is equal to 1 hour. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is 36 divided by 60, and I'm going to end up with 0.6 hours on that one. The second one, again, just takes a little bit of thinking through. Apples are 90 cents per pound. 1 pound is about 4 apples. If she purchased a crate of apples for $10, how many apples should be in there? Well, if $0.9, 90 cents, gets us 4 apples, if we multiply both of those by 10, just thinking of kind of filling out a table here, that means that $9 is going to give us 40 apples. But if we spent $10, that means we spent about 1 more. Well, if 90 cents gets you 4, so that's going to be about 4 more. It's going to be about 44 apples. Okay, and then finally down here, this is kind of a review of the last unit we did. 7 equals 2 minus 5m. I'm going to work to get the m by itself. I start by subtracting 2 from each side, and I'm left with 5 equals negative 5m. Then I divide each side by negative 5. 5 divided by negative 5 is negative 1, so m equals negative 1. Then over here, x plus 0.054 equals negative here. I would subtract 0.054 from each side. And when I do that, over here I'm left with negative 1.0 I've got two negatives, so I'm just going to add them together. This would be 8, 5, 6. So x will be negative 1.856. Hopefully, if anybody got stuck anywhere, that helps you get through it. Thanks, and see you tomorrow.